Okay, let's talk about Don Lemon more because this is a 14-minute article. Back in 2008, Don Lemon was co-anchoring CNN's Live From weekday show with Keira Phillips, a gig that he landed after he arrived at the network 2 years prior from local news in Chicago. For months, tensions between the pair kept mounting. On more than one occasion, Live From producer and newsroom supervisor had to pull Lemon off the air during a commercial break because the anchor's provocative antics, not unlike his recent declaration that the 51-year-old Nikki Haley isn't a viable presidential candidate because she isn't in her prime. It's such a weird fucking take. It's weird because it's like something you would hear from the Top G, right? Like, it's like a thing that Andrew Tate would say. It's even weird for, like, even Fox News to say on their broadcast because it's like objectively targeting the news-watching audience when you say that. Like, it's also not true, obviously. Like, Nikki Haley sucks. She's awful. She's a non-entity. She is a non-factor. However, as far as like we're looking at like the prime age of all of these politicians, she is definitely way better age-wise than like 700 million-year-old fucking Joe Brandon and Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Although she is an irrelevant nobody on the boundaries of age, she actually is better off than all those other fuckers. Like, that's true. MPS 813, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. So for him to turn around and say she isn't in her prime and then double down and go, Google it, it was so weird. Sources say Lemon disrespected colleague Nancy Grace on the air and Soledad O'Brien during an editorial meeting attended by roughly 30 staffers. But his antipathy towards Phillips was particularly concerning and had many members of the close-knit Atlanta news team on edge. Oh, my God, they're leaking like a faucet, dude. It seems to me like they are leaking like a fucking faucet. Most charitable interpretation of his misogynistic behavior as a viable, openly gay black man, he feels like he needed to overcompensate by behaving manly, a.k.a. doing a misogyny. That if so, he's so gay that he literally hates women. No, I think he was being fucking catty. Like, I think he was being sassy. He definitely probably has, like, misogynistic tendencies. And he thought that he could, like, get away with it because he's, like, you know... Wait, he's gay? People don't know Don Lemon is gay? What the fuck? Oh my God. Guys, Anderson Cooper is also gay, for the record. But yeah, I think that he was definitely doing that a little bit. While Phillips was on assignment in Iraq, a high-profile gig that Lemon coveted, he vented his disappointment at being passed over by tearing up pictures and notes on top of and inside of Phillips's desk and in the news pod they shared. According to two sources who worked there at the time. When she returned from Iraq, things only got weirder. One night while dining with members of the news team, she received the first 2 threatening text messages from an unknown number on her flip phone that warned, "Now you've crossed the line and you're going to pay for it." Phillips was visibly rattled and quickly enlisted CNN's higher-ups to identify the sender. Remarkably, the texts were traced back to Lemon. According to those sources, a human resources investigation was launched, and while the findings were never disclosed to the growing pool of staffers who were aware of the situation, Lemon was abruptly pulled from his co-anchor duties with Phillips and moved to the weekends. Yikes. It was a demotion by any objective measure and understood to be some kind of disciplinary action. It appears to be the last time he was paired with a female anchor until his most recent assignments on CNN's This Morning with Don Lemon, Poppy Harlow, and Caitlin Collins. Dude, this is why I love leaks. I mean, he's a bit of a psycho, isn't he? I mean, by the way, which is not even remotely shocking to me, a lot of these guys are fucking sociopaths in news media, okay? Let's be real. I've seen it firsthand when I went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner one time. Well, I didn't actually go to the dinner, but like the TYT events that were surrounding the weekend, which I think was like this past weekend, and not a lot of fanfare around that. But anyway, last time I went was many, many years ago, and I fucking hated it. I literally saw exactly how gross these fucking demons are. I already hate DC with a passion. I'm sorry to all the wonderful people that live there, but like I fucking hate all the government dickheads that live there and are just awful. But I especially hate political media. Oh, anyway. But yeah, these guys are they are the high level sociopaths. Okay. Phillips, who joined ABC as a Washington-based correspondent in 2018, declined comment. A spokesperson for CNN said, Don says the alleged incident never occurred, that he was never notified of any investigation. CNN cannot corroborate the alleged events from 15 years ago. In the wake of Le Mans' February 16, Haley comments. Okay, well, what the fuck? This is like not great journalistic integrity here. What the hell? So what does that mean? Does that mean that it could have been totally made up? I don't understand. There's no evidence here then. What the hell? Okay. It's like the intersection of corporate ladder climbing environment along with a certain amount of fame. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's an HR case. CNN wouldn't be allowed to comment. Like, could be sued. Anyway, in the wake of Le Mans February 16, Haley comments derided as unacceptable and sexist by everyone from CNN chair Chris Lick to Haley herself, even referenced by Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh during her Best Actress acceptance speech. His fate at CNN hung in the balance, with many colleagues privately calling for his ouster. Despite the outcry, he landed back on his feet after riding the bench for 2 days, posting a Twitter mea culpa in which he insisted he's committed to doing better and ignoring the matter altogether. Variety spoke with more than a dozen former and current colleagues who painted a picture of a journalist who flouted rules and cozied up to power, all while displaying open hostility to many female coworkers each and every time. He appeared to charm his way out of facing any meaningful consequences. Those who worked with him say he was a shameless name dropper and left behind hints that he socialized with important people, like a handwritten note from Stedman Graham that he had taped on his computer. Some were unnerved by his talk of his previous lawsuits, believing it signaled that he was litigious. He frequently let drop that he successfully sued Tower Records as well as Chicago PD for racial profiling and didn't need to worry about money thanks to those settlements. Variety can only find record of the former. What a weird thing. What the fuck? Variety can only find record of the former, which was settled in 2001 and appears to be sealed. Through a CNN spokesperson, Le Mans says he never sued the Chicago PD. All the while, he began openly dating a fresh out of college staffer despite a major age difference and power imbalance. Le Mans was 41 while the staffer was 22. The ambitious anchor, who was gay, was not out of the closet at the time, but wasn't hiding it either. The pair would drive to work together in Lemon's car and began a long-term open relationship. Dating a junior employee was frowned upon at the time. Dude, this is like kind of scathing. And it's taking the tone of a media article that is like wants Don Lemon. Like I'm no big city lawyer. I'm no fan of Don Lemon in general, but this is wild. This article is like this is a fucking major hit piece. Okay. There's a lot of immediately like the media literacy part of my brain gets alerted to some of the weirdness in the article itself. For example, no information, no further information. Don't even like mention who their sources are. They don't even say that like on background they got some information. They just straight up report that like Don Lemon did this to a coworker and then go, no one can speak on it, including the victim herself. And then on top of that, this is like pretty wild where like he's gay, but he's not out of the closet at the time. Anyway, as fast as you can make a rule, Don would bend it, says one senior executive at the time. More troubling was his misogynistic behavior, multiple sources say. Lemon called one of his producers fat to her face. Oh my God, he's so... Bro. That is... Okay, it's a bit of column A, bit column B, where he's like very self-important, but also seemingly incredibly sassy, okay? Not long before he was identified as sending threatening texts to Phillips, he mocked Grace on air by mimicking her, shocking fellow colleagues. Grace declined to comment, but a person close to her tells Variety that she thinks he's an ass and that he was always rude, dismissive, and really unfamiliar with the news content being discussed. That was just the beginning when you knew that Don was kind of a volatile was kind of volatile and didn't say good things about women as a witness of the Grace incident. If Lamont felt threatened by Grace, the biggest star at CNN/Headline News at the time, she wasn't the only one. He was upset that O'Brien landed the gig of hosting CNN's high-profile Black in America docuseries, which launched in 2008 during an editorial call attended by roughly 30 staffers. He suggested O'Brien isn't black, according to witnesses who found the characterization wildly offensive. Don always wanted to be front and center on anything high-profile, especially anything involving race, says a colleague. O'Brien, who wasn't present, tells Variety, wait, is he black? I don't know who this guy is. Or she. Wait, who are we talking about? Did I not read that part? Who took the fucking... Oh, Soledad O'Brien. Oh. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know. Is she? I actually don't know. I thought she was like, I thought she was Latina. Yeah, Cuba. She's Cuban. She could be black. Like, maybe. I don't know. The article addresses it. Afro-Cuban. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Where were we? Lamont felt threatened by Grace, the biggest star of CNN Headline News. Uh-oh. Oh, she's just switching places. She's looking for another cool spot. Good shit. I was a little worried that she was like going to start wilding out. Did we discuss his burner phone stalking, hate calling, and texting insanity from a decade ago? Yes, this article did do that, which, you know, and then conveniently claimed we don't know if that is the case or not, which is a wild thing. But, I mean, it seems like he's fucking crazy. So, if Lamont felt threatened by Grace, the biggest star of CNN Headline, she wasn't the only one. He was upset that O'Brien landed the gig. O'Brien, who wasn't present, tells Variety, Don has long had a habit of saying idiotic and inaccurate things, so it sounds pretty on brand for him. CNN spokesperson said Don, Soledad, and others have correctly referred to her as Afro-Cuban heritage, as it is a unique part of her personal story, but Don denies making any related remark in a derogatory way. When he wasn't shocking his cohorts, he was announcing them with diva-like behavior, says one, like skipping editorial calls, showing up late to the newsroom, or just generally exhibiting disengaged behavior. In 2009, CNN was allowed to send one journalist into the Staples Center to cover the Michael Jackson Memorial. Lamont was the choice, while Anderson Cooper and O'Brien anchored outside. Sources remember Lemon complaining on social media that Cooper got more airtime. That led to a come-to-Jesus moment, says another senior executive from the era. Don was told, look, you've got to address your behavior. Your performance as a reporter is great. It's your behavior that's got to improve. It's what's going to derail you if you're not careful. Instead of reining in Lemon, his superiors let things slide, perhaps because he had fostered a close relationship with then Turner Broadcasting System Chairman CEO Phil Kent, sitting in the Turner box alongside Kent at sporting events. I was a brown noser too. After Kent hired Jeff Zucker to run the network in 2013, Lemon only became more of a provocateur. About 6 months after Zucker arrived, Lemon gave his on-air take on 5 ways the black community could fix its problems, including suggesting pull up your pants. He went to... Yeah, this is, by the way, this is the type of shit that sucks, okay? And obviously the personal misogyny and like weird shit that he was doing behind the scenes to his coworkers, especially coworkers of the female variety. But like, he went on to add, walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison, where they take away belts from the prisoners so they can't make a weapon. And then it evolved into which a role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. What? The one with the really low pants is a submissive one. You get my point. Goldie Taylor, a former CNN consultant who appeared frequently as a guest on Lemon's Weekend Show, says she was blacklisted as the network for critiquing Lemon's controversial comments. I'm personally banned from the network because, ironically enough, I dared disagree with a black man publicly about black life. I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. That network is at CNN, and the anchor is at Don Lemon, she tweeted 2016.
Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Some people, a lot of them black, gave me flack for saying that recently on the Wendy Williams show. If you're sagging, it means, I think it's your self-esteem is sagging, and who you are as a person, it's sagging. Young people need to be taught respect, and there are rules. Sagging pants, whether it's Justin Bieber or no-name Derek around the way, walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon. And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one.
Wow, Bill Maher's really popping on this one, dude. Wait, oh, that's not Bill Maher. Shit. That's Don Lemon. That's crazy. That's a wild thing to say. Holy fuck. Uh-oh, she's starting to get bored, and I just woke her up a little bit. Uh-oh. Terrifying. Not gonna let me eat this fucking... She is not gonna let me eat this food, bro. I can already sense it. As soon as the room has like a little bit of food scent in it, I know her ass is not letting me eat this shit. Uh-oh. Look at her looking up and smelling. No. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep, please. Please go back to sleep on the piss pad where you apparently enjoy spending all your time. Okay, there it is. Thank God. Thank God. She's going to let me sleep. She's going to let me eat, I think, without freaking out. The full vid got 3.8 million views.
If you really...
Don Lemon and I don't always agree, but he is spot on. Huh, I wonder why this got 3.8 million views on TikTok. From Joseph D. Roberts.
Fix the problem. Here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. Pull up your pants. Number 4 now is the N-word. Now number 3. Respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities next year. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling...
Yo, this is like unhinged. Like, this is beyond Obama-era racism. You know what I mean? Like, Obama-era racism was like, oh, BLM, African-American, Black Lives Matter protesters are thugs. You know, that kind of shit. This is like unhinged, bro. This is... I mean, this is literally Fox News coverage. Like, this is not out of pocket at Fox News. You know what I mean?
Telling kids are acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English. A high school dropout makes on average $19,000 a year. A high school graduate makes $28,000 a year. A college graduate makes $51,000 a year. Over the course of a career, a college grad will make nearly $1 million more than a high school graduate. That's a lot of money. Number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should, especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African American community are born out of wedlock. That means absent fathers. And the studies show that lack of a male role model is an express train right to prison. And the cycle continues. So please, black folks, as I said, if this doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. Pay attention to and think about what has been presented in recent history as acceptable behavior. Pay close attention to the hip-hop and rap culture that many of you embrace, a culture that glorifies everything I just mentioned, thug and reprehensible behavior, a culture that is making a lot.
Yo, that's crazy. Dude, 2013, dude. CNN, look at the Chiron. It says, no talking points. Black people, clean up your act. What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
A lot of people rich, just not you.
Uh-oh. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's not like the white supremacist criminal justice system. It's not being systematically held back. It's not like the dire conditions that black people are subjected to. It's not the historic ramifications of like not only 400 years of colonialism, slavery, chattel slavery, and then also a continuation of that in the Jim Crow South, but also systemic segregation happening in the Jim Crow North as well. It's the pant sagging. It's like, yeah, black people don't leave school. It's like, why? What do you mean? Are you crazy? Like, do you think that this has something to do with poverty, or do you think black people are just like leaving school on their own volition for no fucking reason? That's awesome. Liberal racism. And yes, black people can be racist, for the record. He's not even old enough there to be an old head, for the record. Before people fucking jump down my throat and be like, well, Hasan, you've clearly never been around old black people. This is a lot of the stuff that old black people say. Yeah, he's not old there. He's not old enough to be a fucking old head there. Like, we're not talking about like some fucking 70-year-old grandpa, okay? So shut the fuck up. Can you really not? Okay, stop, Striker. I'm not reading your fucking debate. Anyway. Taylor remains steadfast in her criticism of Lemon. I'm surprised when Don gets in trouble, she tells Variety. It makes me happy. It makes me neither happy nor sad to see him undermine his own success. There was a time when it appeared that black people were most often the subject of his ire. Now it seems to me that when he says something offensive, there's almost a woman on the other side. What is this, Perlman King? What the fuck is this?
I just busted nut in a Toyota. Damn.
I'm giving you a time off for that. Take an hour off. Okay. The fuck is that? I just busted a nut in a Toyota? That's insane. Take some fucking time off. And the rest of you are going to get 3 minutes off unless you are subscribed, because at the top of the hour and sometimes 15 minutes into the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute eye break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Use a 3-minute ad break now. I just bust a nut in a Toyota is a wild fucking bar. I'm into it. How young do you think Don is? You realize he's almost 60, right? Most definitely an old head. Bro, that's literally from 10 years ago. Okay? He's like 57. Or how old is he? Wait, when was that aired? Let's see. 2013. About 6 months after Zucker. Okay, so he said this in 2013. How old is he right now? He's 57 years old. That was 10 years ago. 47. You think a 47-year-old person is an old head, dude? What are you, fucking crazy? Are you insane? The people I'm talking about that have these kinds of fucking reactionary takes of the black community are literally like, 75-year-old granddads, bro. What the fuck do you mean? Not a 47-year-old media person. If you think 47-year-olds are who I'm talking about, 47-year-olds are not chirping like fucking Larry Elder on television. As a liberal, for the record. Anyway. Where was I? Not to be demanding, will you react to the Manosphere content? Sure, I can do that. Is the average black conservative take, to be honest, it's just very 2000s coded? Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's still a wild take from back then. I saw a new Don emerging and didn't like the new Don. He says he likes celebrity, he likes fame, he likes power. He became increasingly polarizing, particularly when it comes to discussing women, which sometimes came off as tone deaf. In 2014, he drew widespread condemnation when he told a Bill Cosby rape accuser that she could have stopped an attack by biting the comedian's penis. What the fuck? He victim blamed a Bill Cosby rape victim? Over the years, Lemon relied on his charm to win over the adversaries, particularly men. Even the opposing counsel in the Tower Records lawsuit speaks glowingly of the anchor. I thought he was a quality person and a pleasure to be in his company. Likewise, Zucker never wavered with his support for Lemon. In 2016, he landed in primetime lineup with his own show, Don Lemon Tonight. That same year, Donald Trump called Lemon dumb as a rock, which only contributed to the anchor's rising star. Yeah, 2016. If Donald Trump shit on you, you were going to be the liberal belle of the ball, okay? But some colleagues questioned his journalistic ethics. In 2021, disgraced actor Jussie Smollett testified in court that he first learned that Chicago police doubted his story about being a victim of MAGA-inspired attack after he received text message warning from Lemon. Oh my God. That's wild, bro. He was a Jussie Smollett collaborator? That's crazy, says Washington State University Journal. Dude, the worst thing Jussie Smollett did was hand a W to the Chicago Police Department, which is literally one of the most racist police departments in the fucking nation, okay? Like straight up black site torture, okay? Torture and death, like wanton corruption. And this motherfucker gave them a W, dude. He literally gave them a public, very open, straight up, like embarrassing W. More raised the LA and NYPD? Yes. The Chicago Police Department is literally, I mean, it's not a competition, but I do think that it's probably I would say it's one of the most racist departments, if not, historically, I mean, they are the most racist, for sure. Yeah, I mean, they fucking executed. Was Fred Hampton executed by CPD, or was it also in collaboration with the FBI, I think? CPD was involved in the raid that ended up executing Fred Hampton in his bed while he was sleeping. Just straight up fucking awful. Yeah, let's not forget that the CPD had underground torture chambers for black people. No, that's what I'm saying. They had they literally had black site torture chambers, dude. I mean, we're talking CIA shit. that they were doing to their own citizens. So, you know, American police is pretty bad, but Chicago police is really, really fucked up. Anyway, ethically speaking, we can distinguish between conflicts of interest that should be avoided, blah, 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 blah. As one time, he should have been benched in that instance, no question. CNN looked into the matter and found Lemon behaved appropriately. CNN reviewed the incident in question at the time and found the interaction was an act of journalism as Don was attempting to prompt a response from Mr. Smollett and book him for a show. Oh, okay. Literal demons, dude. They were like, yeah, no. He was just trying to get him on the show. That's why he was doing this. Regardless, Zucker stood by Lemon despite firing anchor Chris Cuomo for advising his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, as the latter faced sexual harassment allegations. In arbitration filings, Chris Cuomo's attorneys argued that his transgressions were similar to Lemon's. After Zucker was ousted in 2022, many believed that Lemon would be on the chopping block, but he survived the regime change at the parent company Warner Media following its merger with Discovery that same year. Still, higher-ups were suddenly paying attention to his behavior amid his woeful ratings. In September, he relied on a sexist trope on air to try and explain why a fellow panel's S.E. Cup was stumbling over a statistic about Republicans. Is it fair to say this because I'm not a mommy, but is it mommy brain? He asked Cup. Oh my God. An awkward silence ensued before Cup answered, no, Don, I just forgot what I was going to say, she said. Bro, he's a demon, dude. He's kind of funny. Dude, he's like vicious to women so aggressively. In also the gayest ways possible. Okay? It's kind of funny, like how, yeah, he's sassy as fuck, dude. You know, it's like, you know what it is? It's this very patronizing or patronizing. Is that the way to say it? SC Cub's a demon too. Yeah, I know. These are all media people. They're all demons. Like, the way he's doing it is so passive aggressive. Like, is it mommy brain? Like, fuck you, man. And then the Haley comments came. Says attorney Devin McRae, who specializes in entertainment contract litigation, these provisions that CNN anchors have in their contracts that define what cause of termination is pretty abstract. That allows CNN to subjectively apply it. Ultimately, it does seem to come down to how is Lemon's behavior making CNN look? Yeah, I mean, here's what happened. His ratings were not that good. They moved him around. He was already like too much of a sassy bitch. And he's pretty much the reason. Oh my God, this is okay. Simply Sarah, I forgot about this. This is something that again, the lady I work out with also brought up, who fucking hated Don Lemon for the Nikki Haley comments, and she's absolutely the CNN like watching liberal demographic, right? She brought this up. She said that he got fucking plastered and was saying some unhinged shit in a New Year's Eve broadcast.